opportunity to thank you for all your great feedback that I received from previous webinar, and that's why I decide, and from whole team to create another one from a group of those questions to create another webinar that will be based on those questions, and you'll get basically the answers on them. And also I wanted also to give a little bit extra on some of the things that was not covered in the previous webinars series of the post-processor. And those subjects was basically, we didn't understand a little bit how to use the procedures with the arguments, and today I will also cover how to use the open, close, delete, and copy file structure, and as well the topic that it's not touched. It's here. I just opened the SolidCAM GP tool, and in the GP language, here in down bottom, you'll see inside the internal GP functions something regarding to the numeric functions and string functions. Now, in comparing with the previous webinars, this will be, I will say, for more advanced and high-end technicians who already use and edit post-processors. Okay, so, and for those who actually never use the edit the post or create any of these, and it will be like in previous webinars, they was recorded. So I'm not expecting from everybody, to understand it from the first shot. Like you probably know, for every programmer, this is your individual how you will create your code and to provide best Gcode, for your customers. So everybody will do it in different way. So I will do it on my way. I'm not expecting to follow from beginning to the end, but my main thing and my main goal will be to you understand that using those kind of functions and all the tools that I will show you today will bring your technique and level of your knowledge regarding to the post-processor that will be for you much easier to solve some problems in the close future, and it will expand your area, of possibility what you can do in your posts. Now, I'll just open one of the pictures here, and that I'll be focused on today. And on the first shot, you definitely can see that it's just the header of any Gcode. And just recently, I've got some request directly from customer that was really challengeable, and I really like it because at the end I finally did it, and the customer was very, very, very happy with this. And first, what you can see here definitely is I'll go just right on the bottom, and here you can see the total machining time. Now, of course, whenever you go to simulate, you have a window. What is the tool? What is the total machining time? Or of course, we have a great tool sheet, and but this is more or less for the CAM user. Of course, he can give the information to the operator, but it's very great when the operator has the list of their own Gcodes, and whenever he opens this, he knows exactly what will be total machining time. I will say with plus minus 5%, of this. It's a mistake, of course. Softwares cannot calculate exactly the total machining time, but this is very, very good to have it. The second thing was the request. Of course, here on the right side per tool, you can see that there is a cutting time for each tool. Very useful for all die and molds users who actually, for some specific tool, if it passed the tool life, he could expect that he will need to change replace the tool. Of course, here one very nice thing that it's here, and it will require some advanced programming, and using the open file copy and close file structure, it's the Z minimal. Now, I got this from the customer that actually has, it's a small workshop, but they have like two totally same CNC machines. And their request was, I want to run the same Gcode on both machines in both times, but I have a problem regarding to the tool. For each CAM part and each Gcode, I need to know what will be my, of course, I know what is the diameter. So for tool number 1, 2, 4, 6, I know what will be the diameter, but it's very important for me how much is the cutting length, how much the tool needs to be out of the holder, depending on how deep the tool will run. So this is very useful option, and the operators like it very, very, very much. So what I will start basically for today is it's basically from the total machining time, and I'll just get started. And as you can see here, I'll just use some of the standard parts, and nothing special here. I have the setup for starting from the bottom to the top. Hole is fine. All the faces that he's working on his three-axis mill, and I'll start basically from generating of the Gcode with the trace one. And to get total machining time, we actually need to calculate. One of the things that I didn't mention: every total machining time cannot be calculated directly from the SolidCAM, because the SolidCAM don't generate just the variable of the total machining time. Of course, if SolidCAM cannot provide you that in one variable, that's not the reason that you cannot create it. For creating some techniques using all the tools that you have in GPP and create it. Now, as you already probably know, on the early beginning, we have the dev tool procedure, and each of these procedure is actually defined. It will be defined like the header of every tool, where all the tool data is stored in this procedure. Now, no matter how much tools you select here, and the operation, that number of the dev tool, it will come. Okay. Now, do not forget here, one of the things that maybe probably some of you forget it, or you're not using it. We just recently at inside our Gcode menu, we have generate with time. Now, in comparing with the previous thing, what I did with the generate with time will basically create and feed up two more variables that are in DevTool. And I'll scroll down, and just very shortly, for every DevTool, it's very specific, the ID of it. The very ID is the tool number, which is the first one. So every DevTool has different tool number, and I will say it's merged and it's its own ID. And regarding to the machining time, here for every tool we have its own tool work time. This is the first difference, and on every start of job, we have a variable that's, I'll need just to find it. Yeah, it's here. It's job time. How much this operation actually, it needs to take to be finished. And this time it's totally same like when you go to the simulation. Okay, so my idea to create actually the total machining time that you saw on the beginning of the Gcode in the header, it's to collect more information actually from the dev tool, right? And to add for each specific tool to add this time, like the number. But we come to the problem where I'll just go a little bit up here, and for example, here I have the tool work time, which is 48 seconds. Now, if I'll add my tool work time of the next tool, you can see that this variable is in quotation mark. So whenever it's in the quotation mark, that variable it's not integer, it's not numeric type. And if we want to add some numbers, you cannot do that with a string. The strings are just the character. This is just a piece of character that is not useful. And if you try to add this string, like, you know, with the next tool, that's like, I don't know, here I'll 38, the result will not be here 1 minute and I don't know, 18 seconds or 24 seconds, however it is, 26 I think. So it will basically be this, so it's like, and this will be the result. So my idea is to use this variable to split each element of this code of this string, as this is hour, this is minutes, and this is a seconds. So I first step in definition of total machine time will be definitely to split those these elements into segments. Okay, so let's do that. For this, I'm just using the same post processor that I actually have from the previous webinar, and it's just simply 3-axis FANUC one. And the very first thing what I'll do here, I'll just make a clone of this, you know, this project, which allows me, you know, to create here some of the variables that I will use, and on the left side, I can use, you know, to create my own code. And I'll just go to the dev tool that I have it. And here, this is just a standard. It's like, what will be my tool number in the header and the tool message. I'll not use that for now, but I'll just continue here. So my very first step will be, you know, to define, like I said, my string and to split it into the segments. And to use that, you need to use very first mentioned string functions. Now here, what can I show you about the string and numeric functions? There are a lot, you know, and we'll lose a lot of time to pass through all of those examples. What is very great about this, it's you can go, you know, you can find it in your SolidCAM. You can go to the help, SolidCAM help topics, and here you will find it, our GP tool help. Now, whenever you go to any of these, here you'll get very great definition of what this actually numeric function does, and of course there's a description, and always on the bottom you'll find some examples, you know, how you can use this actually numeric function. So for this example, I'll use for sure the string function, where I need to find out one of these, the function that will actually split my string into the elements. And that function is actually, I will say substring, or I don't know what is the shortcut for this. Doesn't matter. What is very important that here you need to put the string variable from which point you want to take the string, and what is the length of this. I mean, what is the character, how much character you would like to. And here at the bottom you'll see the one example where here we have the 5 and 2. Now what does this do? Actually it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th element. It will start from 5th element, and it will take 2 characters, and the result is EF. So the same thing we will do in our example. So I just took these, I just put it here. It's much easier to understand. And what I'll do here, I'll just copy this, and you know, it will be helpful to understand what I'll do here. So the very first thing, I need to declare some variables that will help me to store my information about those elements. So the first thing is I'll just put as the way how I'm building the post, and I also recommend to everybody, is that the very first character of every your user-defined variable be a string that declares what kind of type the variable is. So here I have put s, so that means that my variable will be a string. So I'll use the s, and I'll put like seconds, right? And what is that? Let's first put like the seconds, and I'll need to declare it here in my beginning of the post. So I'll just split it here, and I'll use like global string, right? And I'll put seconds, and here we'll have minutes, and of course we will have hours. Okay, so let's do it. So I'll use this string function, and we here need to put three parameters. The first one is the variable. It's my tool work time. And now, I think it will be much better to start not from the seconds, but from the hours, because it starts, from the left to the right. This is the hours, so I decide to start with the hours. So it's tool work time, and my first character, it's empty. So this is my first character, and I want to take 1, 2, 3 strings or 3 characters from left to right. So this is what I'll type it. So 1, 3. And you can use like duplicate function. If you are using the Notepad++, what I did actually, I just used the Ctrl-D that will duplicate your blocks, right? And what I'll do here, I'll just put here like minutes. Maybe to use some tab here, why not? And here will be a seconds. Okay, of course, my tool work time now here, if this is a third, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so this is the 5th. So on the 5th character of this string, I want to take only 2 characters now, because the minutes there, it has only 2 characters, right? And if this is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, so 8 character, I want to do 2 as well. It will be for the seconds. Now, if you're not sure what you did, you can always, create a new block, print like, I don't know, hours, right? Here it can be like minutes, and this will be a seconds. And here we can use the, this is just for the test. Usually you don't need to use it, but I just wanted to show you. I'll just use one simple operation. I'll go to generate and click OK. Of course, it's a great example that all of those are 0. Why? Because I use the regular Gcode generation. So what I'll do here, I'll go to Gcode and generate with time. Don't forget to use that. Okay, and okay. And as you can see here, we have our hours, we have our minutes, we have our seconds, and all of them are just string. It's not useful for us, like I mentioned it before. And if you go to right-click and go to simulate, you can run the simulation, and you can see exactly that the time is 15 seconds. Okay, so I'll still remain this here, and I'll just split this so it will be very, I'd say, good for your eye while you are following this. And my very next step, it's to my strings that I just now declared. It's just a string. So if I want to add it per tool, I need to store it, and I need to convert it into something that will actually be useful and can, add for every tool a number. So actually, we need to, from our string, to create a numeric, integer or integer type of our strings. I'll just jump again to our GPT tool help, and usually this is what I'm doing. I've used GPT tool help very often because sometimes I cannot remember, what string function it really is. So I just go there and just find it, and then I use it. So for that, I'll use the functions. It's toNumber. So convert my string to number. And here is the description and how actually this function will convert it. And I will not go too much into the details, but here at the bottom again you can see the result. If you have here the space, for example, and you have 12, this will be the end result, and so on and so on. So let's declare it. And one more thing before I declare it, we need to define our integers and to use our string function, but this will be effective only if we have one piece of the tool. You remember in the beginning I said whenever no matter if you have 10 tools, the 10th def tool will be defined. So we need to store our informations for each tool. So for that, some of you already know, for those who not, you need to use array variables. The array variable will store, for one piece of variable, it can store a lot of information. And in this specific case, I'll just store my hours, minutes, and seconds per tool. Okay, so for that, I need to use some of the variable that will indicate how many dev tools actually I have. And for that, I'll just declare another variable here that will be integer, right? And I'll call it something that is very familiar with this dev tool. So you can use it like integer and dev tool, as simply as that. And because it's integer, I'll recommend to give him some value, and this value is also very important. I'll declare it with 1. That means whenever this variable comes to the very first dev tool, the number will be the first. Okay. And now another integers I need to define is the seconds. Okay. It's my numeric value of our tool for the seconds, and here I'll define, like I said, the array. And here this value is very important. This is how many values actually you can store it. Okay, and here I just put like 1000. This will indicate that you will never have more than 1000 tools on your machine, or you will never have more than 1000 tools in your CAM. So this was my prediction. So 100 is still possible, but 1000 is very, very hard for the 3-axis machine. So what I'll do here, also I'll add like minutes, also the same thing here. If you want, you know, practice, to take some of the elements and to copy it, and I'll put here hours, and I'll just paste it here. Okay, and let's do it. So I'll just declare my seconds, and maybe we can start here also from the hours, and my hours will be per my dev tool that we now here define it. So it's the first one here in this example, but I'll show you how to to count each dev tool. So for each dev tool, each tool will have different values, and that's it. Like it's equal, and then you remember to number, and then we just need to put our seconds as string. Sorry, it's hours, because we have here the hours. Okay. I'll just put, or maybe I'll just use the copy function. Why not? Here I'll just put the minutes. This will be for sure again the minutes. Here will be the seconds, and here will be also the seconds. Very great. And that's pretty much for now. What I'll do here, just put here per def tool. I would like to print it out, and let's see what is the result. I'll just go right click, Gcode, generate. Sorry, I need to generate time. I'll just go generated time, okay, and okay. Okay, let me check just once again. Okay, see here I still have the seconds, so sorry about that. I'll just delete it and put my integers. Now we convert it, so let's see again. Very good. Now as you can see here, this is now a number. So we don't have any space, we don't have 2 zeros or something like that. Now this is something that I can use for each tool to add and add and add and add, and at the end of the header we'll have, you know, total machining time. As great as is that. So as I mentioned, the total machining time, you don't have it like that in the trace, but that doesn't mean that you cannot provide this for the customer. So what I'll define here also, for sure, we need to declare our summa. And the summa will be actually total machining time. So what I'll do here, I'll just put summa and hours, or we can start here from seconds, and my summa for minutes, and my summa for hours, right? And just we need to declare it right now. So let's also split here. Let's say my hours, it's my hours plus the hours that we have here per my dev tool. Maybe I can just multiply it and just I'll put here the split and my summa minutes here. It's my summa minutes, and also here it's minutes. But here's a great feature. You can put, I'll just try it. Let me check, is it possible? No. Sorry, here I cannot show you one trick that I'm using it. It's seconds, summa seconds, also here. And here. Okay, very great. And let's now use that in our printing. So we'll see what is the end result. But of course, this is not the end. I'll show you why. So I'll go Gcode, generate with time, click OK. Everything is very good, but just seamlessly. Okay, so this is just for one tool. Let's see what will happen for all those tools here. I'll just go Gcode and generate with time. Okay. And of course, my hours and everything will be printed as many tools you have. Now, what you can see here that we have actually none of our operations are more than 1 minute. So we don't have any minutes, we don't have any hours, we don't have any values here. And now what our post-processor is doing is that we have everything inside the seconds. But everybody knows that, you cannot have 60 seconds. It can just go to the 59 and then 1 minute will appear, and then again we have 00 in the seconds. So this is what we need to define now. And how to do that, it's still using another, but now not the string function, but I'll show you now something from the numeric functions. Now, one thing before I start, this is my individual of programming. Okay, you can define it definitely differently. You can name your variables differently, play with it. I'm not expecting that you follow all of those things, but you'll, like I said, you'll have everything recorded. So just practice, and it will bring your knowledge to a much higher level. Okay. Now, what I need to do is to use this 134 and to have like, okay, it's actually 60 plus 60 plus 14, right? So this will be my minute. So here we will have like 2 minutes and 14 seconds, right? So we need to find some numeric function that will do that for us. I'll just jump again to my GPP tool, and I'll go to my numeric function. And there's a lot of numeric functions, very useful for the mathematics and a lot of things here. You'll already see it here. But the thing that I'll use for this example is the mod. And inside the mod, you have to put the two numbers, right? And here we have a very nice example. It's like we have 5 and here we have 2. So 2 and 2, it's 4. 5 minus 4, it's 1. Here we have minus 17, here we have 3. So until the 17, we can put 5 times 3, which is 15. One more 3, it will go out of this value. So it's 15 maximum. So minus 17 minus 15, it's actually minus 2. And in that way, it's how this mod is working. So what we need to do is here following. I just go here, maybe I'll add another one here, and we need to put some if statement. So if my summa seconds, right, is greater or equal than 60, we need to say like that our summa seconds, my seconds, it's equal to our mod that is actually right from taken from the same variable here, and it's 60 here. So whenever it's greater than 60, if it's, for example, 65, what it will do here our summa of the minutes will be like the same thing but plus 1. That will bring, 1 more, and it will add 1 to our minutes. And this is what we need to do also for the hours. And this is the end if. And here we need to add the same thing, but only now for the minutes. So whenever our minutes is greater than 60, right, we need to count it that. So our summa minutes is equal to our mod, and then summa minutes 60. And then, of course, summa hours will be equal to the same thing, and plus 1. And if. Now, this is complete, finish it, except the thing that we didn't count how many dev tools we have. So for each dev tool, we need to count it. And to do that, you remember here in the beginning, I just put that my dev tool is 1. So for every next tool, we need to add 1, but not for the last one. When we have the last one, it's already counted. And to do that, I'll use I used it in the previous also webinars, and it's very powerful. I'll use it not in all procedures, but for those like DevTool, it's very helpful. So if my next command it's equal to DevTool, which will indicate, I'll just have here a trace, yeah. So whenever I'll just go to my last DevTool, where it is, yeah, here. This is my very last DevTool. And if my next procedure, it's not DevTool, I don't want to add this value. So this is my goal. So if my next command it's equal, add it. If it's not equal, don't add it. So my DevTool, it's equal to the same thing plus 1. And here we can put end if. Very great. What we just need to do here also, whenever it's not the dev tool next, I mean, what we here put it will print all the time, you know, our hours, minutes, and seconds for each dev tool. So we want to print it just once, and that will be at the end of dev tool counting. And to do that, what you can put here, I'll just print these before, and here I'll use this one. Why not? This will indicate when I'll print it or not. So I'll here put else, and then here it's our goal, what I wanted to show you regarding to the total machining time. And I'll put here like a new block, and here's some comments like, of course, inside the brackets in total machining time. And then you can use it. I'll use a little bit here also the programming and how it's called the display functions to format our variables. So I'll start from the hours, definition of the hours. So my summa hours. So total machining time, it's my hours, and here I'll format it a little bit. So it can have maximum and minimum 3 digits before decimal number, and I'll not like to print any decimal point here. And of course, now I'll just print a comment. You know, I want to print this. I don't know how it's called. The double dots here. Is it semicolon, right? To have the same comment here, and here what I can put is also now summa hours, minutes, with the very similar. You can just copy here, and I'll just copy the same thing, except that now, of course, the minutes there are just 2, and exactly the same thing I'll do here, and then we have like summa seconds. And again, I'll just print the same format here. And at the end, another comment, just to close the brackets. You know, this will be very needful, because if you run this code on your final controller and you don't have brackets, you'll get an alarm message. You know, and this is something that I can close now. I'll save it, and maybe one more statement here. But let me just generate the Gcode so you understand it, what I'll do here. I'll generate with time. I'll click OK. Summa minute. So I make a mistake. Okay, so it's on 139. No problem. I'm a programmer. No problem. So let's go 139 minutes. Right here. Save it. No problem. Let's go ahead. Again, I have the same thing on 147, 47 here. Okay. Again, Gcode, generate time. Hope now it will work. Yeah. Very great. We have our tool used. We have our tools here defined, and at the end we have 2 minutes and 14 seconds. This is our goal. Now, this is I'll just add a little bit more something. What I don't like in this code is that my total machining time will be always printed, even if I'm not using, you know, the function of, you know, Gcode and generate. So if I'm not using generate with time, if I use the generate, I'll click OK. I'll click here again OK, and my total machining time will be generated, and I don't like that. Also, another thing that I don't like here is that I would like to split this Gcode. So I'll just do that very quickly. So to do a total machining time, just when we are using it, you can simply use this tool work time. So whenever it's 0, you know, I'll just copy this, and here in my else, I'll just put if, you know, my tool work time it's equal to 0000. Obviously, this is something that we are not using our generation Gcode of with the time, this total machine time will never be generated. So I'll just close and if, and here on the end, here I would like to do a new line. You can also do a new block. It's up to you. I'll just save it, generate, and let's try it once again. Sorry, one mistake. So if tool work time not equal, so if it's not this, okay, so I might make my mistake. But this is very good that I can show you also. If I make perfect code, nobody will understand it what I did. So if it's not equal to this, we'll get it. So let's generate it. Gcode generate with time. Okay. And here it is. Total machine time plus we have here the empty space. So it was a little bit longer than I expected actually, but I hope that you got some idea, what you can do with all those string and numeric functions, right? So let's move ahead, and I'll just show one more example. It's regarding, it will be a little bit harder than this previous, so just focus a little bit more. What I have here is that minimum, and for all of you, you can already expect that we don't get any information in our dev tool about the lowest level that my tool will reach per Mac position. So how I can, so let me just open any code here what I have. So here, and our post-processors and GPP tool works actually, we are starting from the top and getting information, and we go down, right? And we are running that until to the end. So there, all the informations that we have regarding to our tools, tool position, and so on, we need to pass through all our operations, right, to read our Z position, to store it somewhere, and then to print it at the beginning. Now, that's a little bit challenging because you need to save this somewhere, to store it, and then to print it at the beginning. That's a little bit hard, but this is the idea of what we will do here. And how to solve that? I'll just close this. I'll just minimize this, and I'll generate Gcode that it's pair. I don't know. I'll just define here like 1. Okay, very great. I'll copy this and I'll use my notepad. I really like it. I'll just go to the top. I will minimize this a little bit, and this is my goal. Here in this example, we need to use advanced copy, open, close, and delete functions if we want to print something on the beginning if we have this information at the end. So it's not hard to understand, but it's still challenging and a little bit advanced. If you never use it, it will be a little bit advanced, and for sure you will learn something new. But this is what I will do. Here in the beginning, I have something for the header. So this is my header file, right? And imagine that I'll create a new Gcode that will be just header. Okay. Now here we have DevTool. My DevTool will be generated with a file of tools, for example. So this will be my tool list. And from my start of program, and I'll just scroll all the way down, I have here end of file. So from the top all the way to the bottom, I'll generate another Gcode file that will be, I'll call it here like a program. Okay, so I'll not scroll all the way down to just select it. And at the end, my result will be, I'll just delete this. And my result at the end is to create a new file that will, I don't know, we'll call it like O and 1000. This will be our Gcode file name, and to do that, I'll just use my header file plus my tools plus my program, right? And all those three will be generated and defined in this this file at the end. Now the problem that my tools will be generated at the end of the program, but I will call it after it and put it in the middle. That will allows me, to store the information, whatever I need for this particular example for the Z minimum. Now this is one of the examples. You can do the same, and you can use the same thing on every other example and to put it on the beginning. One thing that I didn't say is that this total machining time that we just now developed, you can use it on any post. So there's no limitations about it. So we defined very clearly our variables. Everything was very clear. You can just use copy, put it on any other post, use the same thing here, just copy this to the header, and it will work 100%. Okay, so let's now jump here and let's do the same thing what I did here. It will not be some understandable, but at the end you will see the results. So the first thing what I need to do is to create a file on the header that starts from the start of file. So let's just do that. I just start a file, and here we are. So everything what is here, I want to store it in one file. So to do that, I'll just create a new line, and I'll print like open file, right? And that's equal. And now here you need to put what is the name of the file. The name of the file, I'll call it just for something simple, is the header. And that's all. And I want to close it as well. So at the end here, I'll just close it. Close header. Very nice. Now the second thing what I want to do here, I said it's starting from the start of program until the end of the file, where it is end of the file. Let me search it. End of the file. Here it is. So everything from that until the end of the file, I want to store it in another file that will be called. You can use the copy function here, but just change the name of it, and I'll just put here it's a program. And the same thing I'll do like duplicate, and I'll just move down there. For those who didn't understand what I just did, I just used the Control Shift, and you can move your whole block up and down with the arrow keys. Here we have. I just need to here close it. Sorry, but close it in the end of the file. Here it is. Very good. So let's see what this will do. So if of course this is not the end. I'll just generate to explain you what we'll got here, and to see what kind of flexibility you have now. So here we have some NC file. Let's see, but where are the rests? Okay, just give me a sec. I'll close this. Open program. Did I do it correctly? Close file. Let me just check it out here. You can here type open file. Just be sure. File comments, open file. This is the file. Okay, just I need to save it. Gcode generate. Just give me a sec to close all of these. Okay. Okay, this is the results. This is what we actually expected. So we have a header. So this is like the program and programmer, who did it, I did it, and the part name, date and time, stuff, and so on and so on. That's not important. But what is this? It's a program, the one that we actually defined it. So this is another file. Okay, and at the end we have here our tool. Now my goal is, to after we store the information in our tools, at the end we will assemble all those three. And let's see how to do that. So in my end of file, I need to create this new file that will be for the tools, right? So I'll call here. I'll call it like user-defined. I don't know what it's. Yeah, why not? The dev tool. The dev tool, you know, the original procedure. So I just put it like this is our own dev tool. And here, just at the bottom, I'll just put it, do not forget it, and procedure. And now here I'll call another user-defined that will be also like, I don't know, we can like Gcode generation or create a code, create Gcode, why not? And again, I'll just use the same thing. Sorry, here I'll just paste it to create Gcode, end of procedure, and in my dev tool, what I would like to do is I'll copy this, I'll paste here, I'll just open a new file that will be a header, my tools. And I'll just copy here and I'll close this. Okay. Regarding to my dev tool, I'll play a little bit later, you know, but I need to create my code. To create it, this is the place where we will assemble our Gcode. And to do that, I'll just, you know, open new file. And my new file will be, as I said before, it will be like O, and then I want to use the variable that will read my program number from the definition of the count part. This is a very important number, and I would like to use it here in this example. So I'll just jump here. I already know the variable, so for you who don't know the variable, it's right on the beginning of the trace, a very top one, the first initialization post. Sorry, in the start of file, and here you'll find it. And it's called like the program number. So it will generate like O and then whatever program number is. And here what I'll do, I'll just close it, right? But between, I want to copy all of those that we actually now generated. So let's use that. Let's do, first of all, is the header. So I'll just use this. I'll here use the copy. The copy file will basically copy the program that we now defined. And it will be like a header, right? And I'll just paste, I'll just duplicate all. And this will be my tools. And this will be my program. So this is what was the idea, to copy all of these, and that's it. And it will close the program. But let's see what that will happen. I'll just generate Gcode. I'll take all of those. Why not? Gcode generate. Okay. No errors. I'm surprised. Okay. We have our Gcode. This is the result that we actually wanted. And here we have the header, very nice, our tools. We don't have anything here as a tools because we still didn't define. Remember, we defined a new dev tool. And here we have like the program, standard program that is here. But if I just close this, you'll see that we have our tools and our header and our program is still here. Now I want to delete this one after I copy it to my original, right? So to do that, I just use our next function is to delete all of these. I'll just copy this, and after I copy all of my Gcode to a specific program, I would like to delete this after it's generated because I don't need it anymore. And to use that, I'll just show you one trick. It's holding the Alt on your keyboard, and then just simply using your mouse arrow here, and just here type delete, and here this is the way how you can use the multiple and edit multiple blocks here. Let's save this. Let's go here and let's generate our Gcode. Yep. Okay, so this is the result. We have our Gcode and our NC, but this is still our now dev tool that is defined it, and we don't know where to store it. But as you can see, there's no program, there's no header, it's deleted. Now we just need to think about it, how to define this and store it into the correct place. Okay, here I defined the user dev tool. So the very first thing what we need to do, it's, of course, I said it's a little bit more advanced. Of course, I didn't create this from the first shot. Of course, I played a lot, and my goal is to all the tools. I'll just here go to the right side, and I'll go to dev tool. You remember this dev tool? It stores our variable for each specific tool. Now, in order to save all those informations that we needed and to store it in our dev tool and use something that we would like from the Gcode generally, we need to use the while statement. Pay attention, the while statement it's like the if statement, just whenever they are true, they will be like doing it endless. So sometimes be very careful with programming. All the programmers know that while statement they cannot crash your machine, the computer, but it can do and run the process to the endless loop, and they will never exit whenever they are true. So I'll just move to my dev tool that we just here defined, and I don't know, the first thing what I'll do here, I'll use here the why not, the local variable that will be the integer, and it's local because I'll use just that here, okay, and I'll call it I don't know, it's like how many tools I printed. So let's see, tools printed, and the very first will be 1. Why not? So I'll just copy and I'll say it's equal to 1. I'll explain that later why it's 1. And now here is the shot, and it needs to be after I open it. So I'll just move some spaces here. And why not to split this? And here I'll put some while. So if these tools printed, we need to put how much tools we print already, if it's less or equal to our dev tool. Where it is? Here it is, dev tool. Okay, this is a little bit advanced. So my goal is to print all the tools that we have as a maximum tool. So if we'll have 10 tools, I would like to use the while statement on the 10 times. Okay, this is the reason. And I'll just here close the and while here just for a moment. So what we need to do else here, we need in our dev tool to store what is my tool number per my dev tool. This is going to be very advanced, but this is what we'll basically do. We need to declare and to store my tool numbers. The tool numbers here are very important. So to print it at the end, we need to store this information. So I'll just define here, like, I don't know, def tool number. And this is an indicator, you know, what is my tool number from the def tool. And it's like, right, the def tool, and this is equal to our tool number. Okay, this is my goal. I'll just close this. I don't need it. I'll just delete here. Also, I'll move this. I don't need that also. I'll copy this and maybe I'll print it here. Why not? I don't need it because my def tool, I'll not use it. And of course, because here we define our def tool here, I'll need to declare it at the top. And also, it's like I define it, number, it's also an array of 1000, for example. Okay, very good. Now let's go back to our while statement. So if it's less or equal than my def tool, let's create a new block, right? And let's print the same thing what we print in my original def tool. So it will be, right, like my parentheses, quotation marks, and it will be tool. And here we need to store the same thing what we actually did it in our def tool originally. Sorry, not here, but let's go def tool, and here I would like to go to the original one. So the one that we here just created, we need to use it. Okay, I'll just copy here and I'll paste it here, and instead of my def tool, right, I'll need to use my printed because I want to do it in that order. Now the while statement will be always executed all the time, and I'll just print, you know, my def tool that is from the first, if I don't put some triggers. And if I don't put some triggers, or I'll say it counter, we will never exit from the while statement. Okay, this is for the all advanced users. For all those who never work with the while statement, just play with some easy while statements, you know, while you get the point of how to use it. And here I'll just put like tools printed, it's equal to tools printed plus 1. With this, it will count. Okay, this is my, it's 1. It will go, it will print. Then it's 2. Here, the tools printed will be 2. It will go again up. Is 2 less or equal than my 10? For example, it is. So let's run it again. Now it will be 3. So it's my 3 less or equal than 10. So I just take it into account that this is the 10, and it will be printed all over again. Okay, tool def tool, it's printed, and here at the end I just maybe can, you know, close with the parentheses. I hope that I didn't make any mistake. If I did, I'll get a message. So let's try it. Generate the Gcode, and generate. Surprisingly. And here it is. Very, very, very nice. But this is not even close, because here we need to put, you know, our Z minimum, and here at the end maybe total machining time. It's very nice, but we can, the first thing what you can see here, that we don't have any extra file here. Just one file is generated, so we succeeded. So we create a good background for putting any information from whole this Gcode. Okay, so no matter what you need, you can store it right here, right now, because we create now the structure of it. So to do that, now it's very easy. I'll just do it very quickly. It's just you want to create the Z minimum, and to do that, we need to create our own variable that will be per our tool number. So it's not the integer type, it's actually the numeric, right? Because Z pose, it can be like 5.203. Okay, so it has to be numeric in that moment. Numeric, right? And the numeric will be I don't know, lowest, maybe lowest Z pose. Why not? And again, I'll store it with my array like 1000. And I need to, for each tool, to save minimum Z level. To do it, that's now very easy. I'll just save this. Because it's just simple 3 axes, here I'll just go to the line, and my ZL pose is just saved in my rapid move and into my line. So let's create here. So if my Z level Z pose, it's you know, from my tool number, right? It's greater than ZL pose, right? It will be like this variable, sorry, hold this variable, it's equal to that same ZL pose. So if we have greater, so if my lowest position is greater than this, let's store this value, and I'll just go to end if here. The same thing I'll do here, basically inside my line, and the most of the thing I needed just in my line procedure. Now another point where you can where you need to store it, it's in your drills. The drills doesn't come with the line procedure and rapid move. It actually comes from the drill here itself. So it just here at the bottom. But instead of L pose, you can search in the trace, but you'll never use the ZL pose, but you have here the drill lower Z. So I'll just use that one, and as well here you can use the ZL pose, because this is the post machine, yes. And that's pretty much of it. Now we need to use this the lowest and to put it here in my while statement. So whatever we want to store it, it will be right here. And what I'll do here, I'll just go to the new line, close it if I want to do something a little bit more. And let's put this like Z minimum. You can put any comments as you want. And it will be like Z lowest, right? And here we need to put my array. So which tool do we want to print? This tool, right? So we need to take all of these. This is much higher level of programming, and just to save it. That's all. And what we need just to try it is to generate a Gcode. I'll just go ahead, right click, Gcode generate with time. Okay, okay, okay. And here it is. Voila. It's tool number 1. Z minimum is 0. Here it's minus 55, 52, and so on. Of course, here you can play with the formatting, so you know, to be a little bit better. But for now, for the webinar, it's not that important. You can play that a little bit later. And the very last thing what I'll show you for today, it's another thing that actually it's not how to say, it's not that you actually saw it, but I didn't want to tell you until this moment. As you can see here on the left in our CAM tree, we have my tool, it's tool 1, tool 13, 2, 4, 6, so it's randomized in some way. And one of the requests that I have from this customer and from the operator itself, he needs to spend so much time on the second machine while he's getting the information from the Gcode from the first machine. And maybe he will forget, you know, that he has the tool number 6, he'll forget to measure the tool, and then bam, you have a crash. So you want to avoid that, and a little bit better thing in the order will be if you have these tools in the ascending order. So it's going from the lowest to the highest one. And this requires a little bit advanced, how to say, programming skills. For those who already know what is the C++ or something like that, this is something that you can also learn it from that point. It's totally the same. So I'll just use the same knowledge, to show you here in specific post-processor. Okay. It is a little bit hard because here we will use the second level of the while statement, but I'll try to explain you. I'll write very fast the code, and then we'll just jump to, how to say, one by one here what we need to do. So first I'll define here, just below here, another user-defined procedure. I'll call it, I don't know, we can order tools, why not? And I'll close it. And this order tools, I need to call it just on the beginning of my code in my dev tool right here. I can delete this one, I don't need it. Here I can put it to reorder each my dev tool to be reordered according to the tool number. Let me show you what I mean about it. I can use here, I leave here else and if just for this purpose. So I'll call here this the same order tools. So after my end dev tool is done, he will jump here, reorder all my tools, and again we'll go to all my dev tools here, and it will be done, as we already defined it here. And like I said, it's a little bit advanced, so I'll just type it here, local, and we have the integer. And what the hell, I'll just explain you what we'll do here. I'll just close this, and let me generate here Gcode. It will be much understandable for you, so I want to spend 2 minutes more on this. I'll just copy these tools. Okay, I'll use the copy function. Maybe some of you don't see it, but I actually always use the keyboard shortcut. So I'll just create a new file here, and this is my not ordered tools. As you can see, it's 1, 13, and so on and so on. And here we will have ordered tools, and the philosophy it's next. We'll run all our dev tool here inside the while statement, and we will put exactly if statements that will be in this way. Is T1 larger than T13? It's not larger, so we don't need to change it. Is T13 now? So we'll go next to next dev tool. Is my tool 13 larger than tool 2? Yes, it is. So what we need to do, we need to store into temporary, we need to store it somewhere this value. And then we'll just copy this. We need to replace it with existing one, and from the temporary, we need to move it like this. And when I do that, my tools are not ordered yet. So I cannot exit from the while statement. And so I'll run this while statement again, and again to infinity until I'll have all my tools in the order. So again, here I'll have the temporary, my T4 will be here, and my tool 13 will need to be replaced. And again, I need to run the while statement again. So this is basically what I will do here. So here I have my order tools. I'll just a little bit make it larger so you can see it. And I'll create I. So this is my I as an element of what I will check. So my I is what I'm checking. So this is my I. So this is I. Okay? You'll see it in a quiet moment. So this is the element. And then you remember we have also the temporary. I'll just call it temp. Okay? And then we need to have another one. It's local, that it will be logical. And I'll call, I'll start with B, it means the Boolean, okay? This indicates that this is a logical type, and I'll just need to put like order done. This variable will indicate is the order already done or not. And let's start with the while. While, and here we have like and if. Sorry, and while. And while true, this is a little bit advanced technique, and whenever my while is true, we will never end from this while until we have my order it's done true, equal true. So basically, whenever my all tools are reordered and we don't have anything to order more, we will use the one very nice feature that I didn't show you before, but it's called break. And I'll do an end if here. So we'll exit from this while statement whenever we actually come to the B order is true, and when we hit the break. Whenever we hit the break, he will exit from the specific while state. Okay. So, and that will happen here. I'll just put here like a true, and my I need to declare it. It's 0 here. We'll start from basically from 0, and this is here we need to add, I said before, a second level of while statement. And here what we'll need to do, we need to put like I plus 1. And for all of those who knows this, another technique to add a new value to I, it's you can just put here like plus plus I. This is one of the technique also that you can use it. It will basically, for every time when he passed here, he will add 1 more I to this value. So I'll not use this technique now. I just simply use 1 plus 1. And now this is the moment, the most important one, that I will use the programming skills to explain to write it what I actually explained. So to take this element, store it if it's the larger, and to store it somewhere in the temporary, and then to move this one to the previous, and then move this value to the second one. And I'll do it right now. So if my specific DevTool number, right? I'll just copy here, but not the DevTool, but it's my actually element here. If it's greater than, the same thing, but for my I'll say next element. So this is here I explain it. Is this element larger, greater than this one? This is what I wanted to express here. If it is, I need to store my temporary, did I say correctly? Yes. To that value, right? To this value. And then I need to tell it that this one, it's equal to this, but like I plus 1. And then this one, sorry, this whole one, I'll just put it here and say that it's equal to temp. So this is what I basically does. And if this is everything equal to true, my order it will be equal here to false, because we didn't still reorder all the tools, and we will not. I want still to run my while statement. I think that I here done. So it's just a couple of the lines, but it really requires high programming skills. To be honest, I played a lot to get to this this code, and of course I'm not expecting from everybody to follow until this point. But for me, it's very important that you understand. You can just simply copy all of these and you can use it. That's not the problem. But for your good, try to do that at your home, and to understand how actually I did it, and for sure it will bring your programming skills to a much higher level. And here I just close it. What just we need to do is just to test it, and I'll just go here, right click, generate Gcode, and generate. I'll not do that. I would like to generate with a time. Okay. 136, we have invalid y standard. Let's check it out. 136 here. While, okay, I forgot totally one thing. If this I that we just now declare it is less than my dev tool here with -1. Now, this is the last point that I want to explain. While this my element is less than -1, it will indicate like this. Whenever I come to my last, I don't have anything more to check for the next one. So here I don't have any more tools, so I don't want to reorder it, you know. And also if I come here, this is my very last one, so I don't want to reorder it because obviously this is then the largest one. So this is the one that I wanted to show you. Okay, so let's try it once again. Gcode, generate with time. Okay. The very good thing about this is that this doesn't affect on the Gcode generation. Okay, it's maybe a few milliseconds longer, but this is something that customer will never, never noticed. Okay, but they will really like it because they can use this information. And here it is. It's done. I really like it. And here's the total machining time, and the tools are in correct order with specific ZMU. And just at the end, I would like to say something more about from the second, I think it's second webinar, where I just talk a little bit replace strings, and my suggestion to you is just to watch it before to know what it really happened. I've used this replace string, and here I have used the s replaced, and then I can use this procedure whenever I want in my postprocessor, right? So if I go here and I'll just jump to my starter job, here I use this as replaced, and I just put here the job name. Now whenever I do that, this procedure will use the string function again to find out, are they some of these characters, and replace it with this one. This is very, very, very important, because here I have one example. Here I have like the fee. The fee cannot go to the Gcode. Immediately it will. Some of the controllers can accept it, but for example, if you have a little bit older one, he will find out that he cannot read that, and yeah, you need to replace it. And it's very good to not have any strange characters, in your Gcode. So what I'll do here, I'll just copy this one and show you on this specific example, and pay attention on this. I explained it also last time, but I would like to repeat, and here I just stuck. I don't know what had happened, but pay attention about encoding. In what kind of characters you can use in your post. The SolidCAM GPP tool works with the ANSI standard. Okay, so if I change here to the ANSI, look what will happen. So those characters that you saw it in just a few seconds ago, it's now just disappeared, and it was replaced with something that it's very strange. So for now, I'll not change all of those, but I'll just replace this one. I'll paste it, and now this is from ANSI standard. And now when I save it, I'll go to my SolidCAM, and where is my fee? It's drilling. I'll generate the Gcode and hit the generate, so you can see here it's a fee. And my fee now it's replace it with the D as we say it through our post-processor. And I hope everybody that you really enjoy. It was really my pleasure to show you some of my techniques, and I hope you will share it with everybody. I'm still waiting for the great feedback from you. Maybe in the close future, if you give me some questions and some of the subject, maybe in the close future, we'll create another one, like feedback from you, and why not? I'm very open to help you and to show you, and let's the post-processors not be a problem for any of you. Okay, thank you. If there's any questions, Eddie, I'm very open now to answer it.
Thank you, Daniel. Some questions were already answered by chat. Yes, your colleagues helped me to answer the questions. Thank you very much for this interesting and detailed webinar. As usual, it was recorded, so you can see it again and again, and to discuss it with your colleagues. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thanks to all our resellers. Many of them attended this webinar. And good luck in the end of the Q1 quarter sales. Thank you, guys, and goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.